say it because you get flagged. So you don't say it because you get flagged and they get done.
Oh, sorry,
So you
sorry,
you recite it.
sorry,
Like,
sorry,
be
sorry,
sensitive.
sir.
I should meant to he needs all of his points. So
Yeah.
now it's actually 7 o'clock on the dot. We're not in drop top, but we can't cruise the street because of Corona. We have a real nice conversation that's waiting for me. So we pulled up, anticipating,
Y'all don't
showing
encourage
up.
him. Don't encourage him.
Welcome all the 7 o'clock officially. My love bringing in man.
Okay, so this is the R in Love podcast. And for those who've been riding with us uh
This a
throughout
year
season
now. This is
one,
calendar
season
year
two.
now. We've been on this for
Yeah,
calendar year.
yeah,
So
and
happy anniversary, episode. Happy we decided off as the living room conversations
yeah.
in January. And now a year later, this is it. So we are
Congrats, guys.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Consistency, right?
This is very
Yeah, so we're just here to people who happen to be married, Rodney and Nadia, having a conversation about life, about things from our perspective,
yeah.
millennials, Lord, getting old, can't even say it no more. Um, parenting, relationships, pop culture, whatever. And this season, we wanted to step it up a bit, right? And we wanted to hear from, because it's nice to hear from us, but I feel like you want to share perspectives as well. You want to hear from different people, and so we wanted to reach out to couples in our communities that we highly regard and look up to, and one of those people would be the Smiths. So we'll
Wow.
allow the Smiths to take it away and introduce themselves.
All right. Hello, everybody. This is Jamal Smitty Smith. That's my real name because everyone's calling me Smitty. Jamal is my real name. But so happy to be here tonight. Who am I? Them days over. Anyhow, I'm just honestly a very proud, vehement, easygoing person. I'm a very social person. I just love life. I just love putting my all into whatever I do, whether it be hobbies, whether it be relationships with people, friendships, business, whatever the case may be. And well, my marriage, that's a major thing for me. I always considered myself a leader, and I think that helps to push me in a direction of investing in my marriage because, I mean, the reality is in society, in our norm, it's very difficult to have people to look up to and follow in regards to marriage. But I felt that, look, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, and just put my all into it. So just a proud father of 2 beautiful kids. And I could go on and on. Let me love me life. Let me love me wife, God.
I don't have as much to say. Jamal's wife, as I refer to, my real name is Tracy.
I know. I know. I call myself Aunt Nadia. Aunt Nadia. It's okay.
I'm Tracy. Yeah. I'm a easygoing, laid back person, very organized, very detailed. I like to have fun. I love to eat, love to cook, and all that other stuff. Yeah.
I like that.
So let's get one name, easy conversation to Sarah. How did you guys meet? How did y'all begin the Smiths?
But before we even get into that, we gotta hail the people who were in the room because we started hailing
I
people.
apologize.
People who was here from.
Yeah, man. I got a shout out. Oh, sorry. Do we hail or y'all live? We don't take
No. Oh, yes,
man.
I was
You
just
talk to them all the time.
Yeah, man. Tina Marie, aka Kofi, my cousin. We love you to death. Kihana, that's a role model right there. Legend right there. Omar, Bob, we see you, bro. Ricardo, Gavo, boy, that's a senior man. I got Ricardo Gavo in there. Good to see you. Emil, of course. Good to see you, cuz. Kyle Smith, Abaco, hold it down over there for us. All right. So, the other persons, I think they're your friends.
Yeah, Chico, yeah.
Yes.
Claim yes, Chico, our good friend, our good family member, who in Jamaica, who need her come on because he miss you cheeks. And then the next girl, what you say, Jessica? Glad to have you here again.
Yeah,
Who
so
else
we
in
have
this?
Ashley, there was Venetia as well. A few other persons, but I missed it. But anyway, hello guys, Sherman.
Sherman, yeah, man, we tell them what's up.
Yes. And so again, drop your comments because it's not just a dialogue between the Smiths and the Bains. We also want to hear your viewpoints as well in the comments, okay? So yes, let's get into the Smiths. What was your question, Ron?
No, how they became the Smiths
How
again.
did y'all become the Smiths?
The Smiths, because he's Smitty from the. That's how I met him. So how the from the city.
Very interesting story to say. Well, we knew each other honestly our whole lives. We actually went to school together. She was a couple of years behind me, but her and my cousins were best friends, so they grew up together. But
Okay.
I wouldn't say we didn't like each other, but we just never
I don't think at that stage in our
life.
lives we
Right.
were each other's type.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. She said I was a little bit too much.
That's Smitty from the city.
Too
He's too much
extra.
Smitty from the city.
I
Too
guess
much
I
city
too
in the Smitty.
extra. Yeah. But so anyway, we knew each other whole life, like we said. But it wasn't until my cousin, who was actually on there, shout out to Cindy Marie.
And Emil Johnson's wedding.
And Emil's wedding. We went to their wedding, and she could refute this part of the story. But I was I was sitting at a table way in the corner, and like they was feeding all the wedding guests, and they just forgot me and a couple of guys chose to sit on the far end of the table. So man, they see this little pie come up, and she bringing my little macaroni on the plate, whatever.
I organized it.
She made sure I was fed. So anyway, that was the first thing I was like, oh, that's kind of considerate, you know what I mean? And the type of cousin I have, she had a 3-day wedding, right? So they had a boat cruise the next night. Yeah, she didn't play. So they had a boat cruise the next night. So it was kind of strange because all the family was there, she was there. So they danced a little bit, and I kind of pulled away, danced a little bit, pulled away, and I was like, boy, I like this one. So I hit up my cousin.
Because I was living in Harbor Island at the time.
You could take
Okay.
Lucho.
I don't, yes, I'm from actually South and Harbor Island. But I was living there for a few years at the time. And I only came into town for the wedding. So this was not my focus at all. I was just in and out. And like he said,
she domed it up. That was his like aha moment. No, that's
got
the halo light. He said, man, it's just one fellow who's hungry who looks tired.
And so on the boat cruise, he kept coming behind me and dancing. And as soon as I catch my little groove, he just like slip away. Then and he danced again. And
cautious, Rodney. You gotta make sure.
This is the
And so I was like, anyway, whatever. I went back to Eleuthera, and it wasn't even a thought, to be honest with you. Like, it would anyway.
So I contact my cousin, and I'm like, I have a message for your friend. Okay, this is before WhatsApp, so it's BBM. And I was like,
okay.
I need that BBM pin. She was like, she's talking to a guy or something, and blah, blah, blah. I said, your cousin is? Yeah, me that BBM pin. Anyhow. It wasn't nothing where it was an aggressive thing. It was really like, good morning. BM do it. Good morning. Have a great day. Then we disappear for the day. Next morning, good morning. All this way. You know what I mean? Until I didn't want to be too aggressive until the conversation started gradually picking up.
Right.
And then she moved back, right? Yes. She moved back to Nassau, and we decided to go on a date. So we went to Blue. That used to be the place on the water there, East Bay Street. Yeah. Overlooking the harbor. And it was just literally a moment where like we looked at each other, and I had to go after that.
You just want to say
I look and she's like, I think we can get married. It's the first date now. So usually that would have spooked the hell out of me, bro. I'd have been like, this guy crazy. But I was like, I think you're right. Like it was just something, and it was like, yeah, I think you're right. And literally within 3 months after that, we moved in together, and we've been living together ever since. Shacking up. But, that's really what it was.
I think it was where we spent a lot of time together, and the previous relationship I was in, like, I think he was like a long distance but same island relationship because I never saw him. And so Jamal and I were together all the time. And he lived west, I live east. And so those 2-3 o'clock in the morning drive homes, we was just like, it doesn't make any sense.
COVID sounds nice.
Yeah, shout out to Shell and Esso. They prices made us, moving, drive up and down.
And so we just instead of having a drawer on a nightstand with your things, it just moved into, it just made more sense for us to just be one household.
And that was it from that day, almost 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was 8 years. This year will be 9 years we've been together.
Right.
Nice, man.
Nice.
And married for 5.
Oh,
Married for
I
5.
love that.
So,
One day, because we come back to marriage now, I say, your little son who he doesn't know me, but I watch him grow up. That's
Power of social media.
Yes.
One thing you like to do too is to give couples advice and give them direction and for lack of words, hope on what they can do. And people aspiring because they see couples like us. I think it's all easy to do, or I can't get something like that. It's such a fantasy fiction or whatnot. But one thing you guys talked about that I enjoy because I know we did it. You guys talked a lot. You guys spent a lot of time together.
Yes.
You guys, I'm long rides, just vibing. How important it is to have that foundation to say just to get to know the other person.
that is extremely important. And to be honest, if we didn't spend all our time together initially, no way in the world we would have make it. We are personalities are completely different. I mean, the one thing we have in common is a sense of humor. We clown all the time, but besides that, you have to learn. People it's amazing. People continuously evolve, even though they have a common thread in their life of their being, but they continuously evolve. And it's like I always like to use this analogy. It's almost like making gold. You have to bind together different metals to burn out these impurities, and then you get the pure gold. It's the same thing. You mesh together.
Wow.
So
okay, go ahead.
Boy, that's a real Smitty proverb right
There
now.
you go.
We had this conversation a lot. So literally, it was rough. It was rough at first because in your mind you have how you want your situation, your environment, your person to be. She had her idea, I had mine, and it was a clash because you got egos involved, you got all these different things involved, and
Real talk.
foundation was important because you was able to hash out all this stuff in the beginning and early on, and you got to learn the person because people will continuously change. You can't say, okay, I figured this person out and that's it. It don't work. So I think that's of the utmost important. Take your time, just take your time. There's no need to we're moving fast, but anyway, no need to rush into. But
not when you factor like you all knew each other for a while.
We literally was together like
all day.
Every
day. People used to be like, Smitty, what happened to you, man? You drop off the face of the earth. I can't see you.
Like, bro. But when you focus, like I said, I'm that person. If I focus on something, I go hard and passionate. So I focus on my wife or my wife to be, and went 100% and spend a lot of time. Like anything else, the more you put into something, the better the situation will be at the end of the day. And that was real important.
Like I like to tell people too, marriage is the easiest, hardest thing that I've ever done in my life. Okay, it does require a lot of work. I think that foundation, I think the friendship first is so much more important than
I totally agree.
And the romance and all that other stuff is nice because you want to have chemistry and you want to be attracted to that person. But I also want to be able to call him and be like, but I got one joke for you. Like, you know what I mean? To be able to share everything with him.
To just enjoy the person.
Yes. He's the only person or the only relationship I've ever been in where I can 100% be myself. And that was very important for me because as women, I think we try to adjust to make that other person happy. And you may have this little silly side to you, but that other person may think that's kind of immature or they don't really get your jokes. And with him, I was able to bring that out. And a lot of my past relationships, I kind of hid that because people would just be like, what is wrong with this girl? He gets all my silly jokes. And I absolutely love that.
Because she ain't for you. That's what's wrong with her.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that because that segue sort of right into what I wanted to ask. The importance of keeping the identity. Because a lot of persons think that when I get married or when I find someone, I have to totally change who I am. I have to totally throw away who I like to be. But you guys
Real
are
talk.
really debunking that. And I think that's very important. Speak to us the importance of not only keeping yourself one, but encouraging your spouse to keep themselves as well. Too.
Oh, definitely. The thing is with marriage, you love not only for the good things, but what may be considered a flaw as well. And persons would,
Okay.
like she said, they would look at that and make it a flaw, or you too immature, or you too this, or you too that. But I mean, with us, like she say, um, we both were very headstrong, very I wouldn't say egotistical, but we just headstrong, just very focused
I
on
think
who we were.
I was raised to be very independent as a
Yes,
woman.
yes, she's very
And like my dad raised me to say, if you don't have a man, I want you to be able to do all these things for yourself. And I meet him and he's like, but I'm the man. I'm supposed to be doing these things. And I'm like, I could do that. I could lift that. I could move this. I could. So
Y'all don't know our story.
Right, Smitty has to give mama too.
Yeah, that I mean, stuff like that blew it away from me right there. Like you don't encounter that. That's not even a thing. In general society, not saying that I get disrespect women and say they ain't out there, but that's a rarity to find someone who has that level of independence. That blew me away. I was like in shock. Because like you said, I'm old school. I was brought up, to do, you handle everything, you take control, you take charge. And with me, I thought I was doing a good thing by doing that. But my buddy, this one here, she's like, yeah, that's cool, but you need to do this and you need to listen to this. And the good thing about that is that helped to mature me in my mindset, because because I allow myself to become vulnerable as a man, which is something that does not happen, and open up myself to actually get feedback, and a lot of feedback, instead of being, woman, just be quiet, I got this. You know what I mean? That really that kind of embedded our relationship. That kind of really strengthened it, because it's like, okay, now you have to listen. You can't just try to run everything, and because when you do that, you become blind to the other person's needs and requirements of the marriage. You just pretty much block it out because you like, I got this, or she crazy, or she ain't understanding, or no, they don't. I know it's better for her. When you do that, forget it. You have to be completely vulnerable as a man too, and open, regardless of your past situation.
I think back to what you were saying about not losing yourself and be able to keep your identity. Once you married, you know that marriage is all about compromise. So I think that you don't have to lose yourself, but I think you have to find yourself in each other. So you create a whole new person within each other that makes your marriage work. And I think that is important to have in a marriage too, because I can't be who I was and he can't be who he was, and that work as in our marriage. I think that we had to find who we were as a married couple,
right,
and become and still work on becoming that person to make each other better.
Yeah.
Let's hit up what they're saying in the comments. So, Aldrin is all for this because he's like, oh, Andrew loves the analogy. Yes, the gold analogy. Aldrin says nothing like being completely comfortable with each other. We right here, says Daniska. I feel usually like they forget we have a job to. You know what, Aldrin?
This one,
Don't do it.
Well, it ain't a call-in show, but you could definitely put your messages in the chat. We will relay as much of the energy that you give from a neutral, Ma.
But he says it's called partnership, and yeah, I know. I wish it was a call-in show too.
But what you both touched on, it just said it different ways, vulnerability, and that's something, especially if you're one who are past hurts, past relationships, whether it's with your spouse, with your partner, or with a parent or a friend, you being hurt, and you're scared to open yourself back up. What advice would you give to somebody to say, you know what, I just get into this difficult phase, I want to move on, but I don't know how to be.
So vulnerability is a very scary topic for men, because our masculinity and our just our makeup as a man just don't allow for that, because vulnerable is seen as weak. That's just a comparison for it. But as I speak to people, and you commonly hear this in marriage discussions, what do you bring into the table? What's coming to the table? Blah blah blah. Right? And you must deal with situations before you come to the table. That's garbage. That's false. Is impossible. If someone could have dealt with their situations, their baggage, and all this stuff, and get rid of that, then it wouldn't be no issue for them into being married before you or in relationships and all that. It's difficult until you find that right person who is able to unlock that, identify that, first of all, because we don't like to admit nothing. You have to be able to identify, your situations and your baggage and all this sort of stuff. And that person, the right person, can unlock and help you to heal and develop past that. So come to the table. Don't bring no, it ain't about money coming to the table or physical things and all of it. Just bring yourself as a person, as a whole, a broken, whatever. And then that other person will unlock that. So be vulnerable. You gotta be vulnerable. You gotta take risks in life. Without risks, there ain't no reward. That goes for finance, that goes for love, that goes for whatever the case may be. You gotta do it. You just find the strength to be vulnerable. It takes a strong person to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very true.
So speaking of vulnerability, it takes a strong person to start a business, to take an idea from concept to reality. And one of the things that the Smiths are very good at is taking a concept and turning it into reality. Please talk to us about your business ventures.
Many business
Yes.
Yeah. So what we have adopted the mantra, if it's a hobby or something you love, then make money off of it. So whenever we encounter new experiences or whatever, and it seems to be something we love, we dive in head first. I come from a very corporate structured background initially, and I just got tired of it. I hated it. I hate it. She came from more of a freelance entrepreneurial background and flexibility, and when I was in a time, I was like, I need that. You know what I mean? Like, I had the entrepreneur mindset, but we so used to, you have to sit at a desk 9 to 5. You have to, you know what I mean? So to break away from that, it's kind of like, man, but I say, this girl been surviving, man, I can do it. So literally every time we have a new experience, it pops to business. She took me to Cuba for my birthday. How many years ago? 3?
3, I think. Yeah.
3 years ago. Never had a cigar before that in my life. Went to Cuba. And what blew me away, you hear the stories about Cuba and you're like, well, I don't know if you should go with the wife to Cuba, you know what I mean? Let's be honest.
Listen,
I
can't roll my eyes anymore.
You hear that, right? You hear that.
People don't go to Cuba for the
You ain't
cigars.
hear nothing.
I plan.
No, you know that. Oh my God, the other Rodney. So, so we went down there. What blew me away is we love art. We love art, the art. We stayed right next door to African Art History Museum, and we stayed. I mean, literally where we was Old Havana, the center of town, and we just fell in love with like the culture and the foods and the blah blah blah. And then the cigar thing, like in the city, it was kind of commercial and generic, but we kind of researched it some more. She bought me a cigar, and I'm the type I go on the internet, I trying to find out what's going on with this and all of that. And just to kind of find out, it's like an art, like the levels of tobacco and the conditions and the different countries involved in trade and blah blah blah. And I dived into that. And for me, I just sort of loved it. Came back home and kind of found out that there were different niches for it. Different, because I'm a market assessment type of guy. I could come home, I could analyze, go to different shops, go to different places, and say, okay, there's the gap in the market. This is what I could fill. And literally my hobby just, started making money. And then it came to her cooking ventures. We could get into that.
Yeah, well, the one thing I could say is I come up with a lot of the ideas sometimes, and especially related to food or more females things. And I always pitch it to him, and he's like, it sounds good, make it happen. And for me,
That's support.
Yeah, so it's like until I actually get it to that point, then he's on board. I could say he is very supportive. He will back me once he sees that I'm serious about something. Then I have his full support. I think after I had JJ, I was having issues with my milk supply. And so that caused me to do some research into different things that could increase your milk supply. And a lot of the things that at that time, before all the social media and Instagram and all these things that you could find out through social media, it was hard for me to find anybody here that had those products or I could get much information from. And so I decided to research it, and the Whimsical Mommy was born.
There you go.
That's the one of my businesses. It's geared toward mothers. And even at my baby shower, I had like 50 presents to open, and nothing was for me. Everything was all baby, 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 baby. And I was like, you know what? Mothers really do get forgotten in this whole process, but we are the workhorses. We want to be pampered. We want to have things too before the baby came. So I came up with an idea to have packages as well for new mothers. And then from that, I'm like, okay, I'm a mother now. I'm also a wife who has her husband used to house clean, clothes, fold up, food, cooked, all that stuff, because being an entrepreneur, you have all that time. But like people say, a baby changes everything. And so I saw that I didn't have the time to do the meals that he was used to anymore. So I was like,
I say
another
craft. Craft. What is this?
buy food? No. So I did some research into freezer meals as well. And it's a whole other world out there with the freezer meals. So people are obsessed with it, and I can see why. So that's where Lil Eats, from Frozen to Fed, was born. So what Lil Eats is freezer meals that are already prepped. And so you pretty much open the package and you either put it on the stovetop, into the oven, instant pot, or crock pot. So I made it very easy to have home cooked meals. So it's just something I could just take from the freezer, thaw, and we have a home cooked meal.
And we also do seafood as well. We found an awesome supplier. He pretty much supplies most of the restaurants, high-end restaurants in Nassau. And I was like, yeah, your wholesale is good. Can we get some retail action? And so, to be honest with you, with business, we have a holdings company, right? And under this holdings company, we develop all these little businesses under it. And each business, the funds is tied to something. So the seafood is tied to my son's education.
Yes.
Different things like that. So so it kind of drives you to be passionate where I might be tired. Like, I don't feel like getting to drop this off, but it's like, boy,
Right.
let's go make it happen. And like I tell people, 90% of business, forget technology, forget knowledge, forget degrees and all of that. It's all about relationship and network and being genuine with yourself, your product, and your people. Don't swing people. Don't even if you take a loss, you got to fulfill that person's requirement. I've been in agency work my whole life. So as an agent, my work 24/7. There's no such thing as a 9 to 5. There's no such thing. I deal with different time zones. If someone call me, I gotta go. If I gotta jump on a plane, if I have to find some way to deliver a package by helicopter.
Why we thought he was a spy? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I gotta jump on a plane, like literally on a helicopter to go to Key to drop off this package to the vessel that can't come to the harbor, like just random things, I had to do it. So that mindset with me works well with these type of business, because if you call me, I guarantee you I'll be there some way, or and if I can't fulfill it, or if you don't feel good about it, money right back. Ain't no argument, ain't no swinging. You just develop relationships, so people start to harbor that trust with you and sincerity. So as you introduce more and more products or different business ideas, they line up to purchase your stuff, because they say, man, this person is, or these persons are known for sincerity and just being real honest. And if we don't eat it, if we don't like it, if we don't taste it, if it ain't something we love, then we ain't trying to sell it, or we ain't trying to deal with it.
I think two of our most important things for our businesses too are quality and consistency. I think once you have that quality initially, people are going to like what you have to offer, whether it be a product or a service, and once it is consistent. So I think we try to put that into all of our businesses.
Yeah, for sure.
And our law.
We have about
Oh.
6 businesses under the holdings company.
It had to be about that. Because like honestly,
Yeah.
but
two foot.
go into it first for me, please.
Those are the entrepreneurial businesses, but I'm also a partner of my own agency, our Marine Agency, which is a whole other ballgame, a maritime Siemens placement service. So that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, that's the main thing.
Question.
I always say as a spy, so I let them.
You are.
I
said
like,
it's okay.
Many for years. I don't continually.
One can figure it out. No, my family be like, what you do again?
How do you find the time?
I was about to ask, how do you balance all of that?
I think it's actually easier now with the entrepreneurial pursuits because we have cut-off times and cut-off days. Like if you have the schedule, you have the plan. It's nothing like you could just pop up. No, I like it's we sporadic to it. Yeah.
I think because
priority.
Well, one, priority. And then 2, you set a schedule and a time and you stick to it. Yes, you want to get the business. Yes, you want to build up the customer base. But at the same token, you have to have a life. You need to be sane. You understand? You can't. It's not. So while we're still very business minded and focused, we're also very family focused. So we know that comes first above anything. And so we know that we have our faith, we have our family, then we have the money makers, because it needs to be in that order for everything to work.
And to be honest, the only way that works is because of faith.
Yeah.
Money is going to come. And in my belief, money is going to come. You do what you're supposed to do. And the money secondary is a distraction. It's going to come. But so you have to prioritize your family. You have to prioritize relationships. You'll never go hungry. As the Bible say, the sparrow, the sparrows are fed. Like, you straight, bro. Like, you mean more than not to God. So, it's going to come. So your folks do what you're supposed to do. Like, help society. Every individual, every child, your children, you got to bring them to a point where you leave your little mark and they assist society, and it just keeps growing and growing like that. And that's really a priority for us. Like, we have some down days. Like, if we break the day or what, we just hustle. But anyway, if we break the day, it happens.
The thing is, like I always tell him, because of our faith, God has never failed us. And God doesn't fail us. Never. So if we wake up and we're like, okay, well, things could work out today. By the end of the day, he either calling me or I calling him, and we be like, God don't play. God don't play. So I think having a strong faith as well, and having that faith tied to your business, you will be successful because God is going to make sure that you win.
No, I love the faith. I love the faith foundation. I love that. And one of the things you guys do, because we come back to that, is you guys in ministry as well. Right? Yes. That's one of the things you guys know about. Speak to us about the ministry as well.
I wanted to touch the comments first before we get into that. So my mom, Lydia she says, you're a good wife. Keep it up. Amen. Jay said, just let Tracy speak, Smitty. I don't feel about that.
Thanks, Jay.
I just want to say thank you to my best friend, Candace. She is the one who gave him my BBN pin.
Yes, girl. You should make commission off of them. They're good, strong couple. Chico says he likes these. I like these folks as well. Solid people. So yes, Smith.
Chico, like seafood.
Chico.
No, he said Chico is smoke, but he likes seafood all up.
Tamika Day says, as I'm all ears tonight. Yes, man, take notes. Hi, Andrew. Andrew says hi.
Nice learning thing, man. Again, my ass perked up with the business. My ass perked up even more with the faith, man. But tell us about you guys' ministries, man. That's what I know. That's a good thing you guys do as well.
Yeah, so, boy, we kind of, I wouldn't say we fell into it, but, okay, so pretty much I've been, because of my mother mainly, always, what you would consider a traditional churchgoer, but I was a backbench type of guy. Like, I ain't gonna be involved, I ain't gonna be, but I believed in God, and I would sit in the back there and I would attend Sunday because I feel like, but if I don't attend enough Sundays, I get in hell, you know what I mean? So it was like a check mark type of thing. It wasn't per se a relationship to that level. And as I met my wife, It was a particular church that we used to go to, a family church, but her family is mostly atheists, except for her mother. So that all the siblings of other person, father, etc. Very loving people, very good people, very genuine people, but they didn't believe in the concept of God that, traditionally is spoken about. So she's like, boy, I can't take that church. That's a little too hard for me. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of like,
I was never brought up to be in no 3-4 hour service.
yeah, it was that type of church.
Like, you went to church for 1 hour.
Yeah, yeah.
Ain't anybody like that?
Tracy, I don't think anybody like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, yeah. So we attended a new church, and my sister actually went to, and naturally we started to get involved with kids. They had a Saturday night thing that was going on. I don't even know who asked us to join that. Who asked us to help?
I think we just somehow we stumbled on it.
Yeah,
and it was with the kids, and we're really passionate about mentoring
right.
kids.
So I had a lot of, actually I remember. So I had a lot of young guys, like my nephew friends and different people. And it was a basketball thing. So it was like a trick. I was like, yeah, let's go play ball, man. Let's go play ball. And when we got them into there, then they were like, whoa, they like the gym is in the church. And then, it ended up being conversations, and it kind of evolved like that. And I just started to love it. But I was like, boy, you never feel worthy enough, right? To be in any type of ministry thing, because society teaches us everything is black and white with God. Like, you can get strike down if you don't cross this T or dot this I. Like it's like this is this, but in our reality it wasn't like that. So yeah, we got involved with that. And then Tracy, we needed help with the females, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, Tracy, boy, we need to make something happen. We need help with these girls in the program. So she came on board, and I mean, she was phenomenal in that. She was able to be real with the girls, give them experiences, and do their thing. And I guess it kind of caught some person's attention, what we were doing, because we wasn't officially doing this. We was kind of like helping people, but we end up taking over the program. Type of people we are. We just end up taking over the whole program.
Brother Paul say, what happened?
Yeah, right.
Why didn't the guy come? Get me out. I don't know.
So it just started to grow and grow. I mean, it's all God, right? It just started to grow and grow. And then we became a part. Oh, we had small groups in the church. So the pastor was like, yo, Jamal, I want you to lead a church small group. And I was like, did you do a background check? Do you all background check? Like, bro, like, Google me, like, nobody.
They can't find nothing if they Google you. Stop it.
I literally went on my night, and I was sweating. I was yeah, like people ain't me, but when they see what it is, they be like, no, everything cool. But they was like, look, like the Bible say, God's presence is what it is God shows up in your weakness. So God gets his glory through a person's weakness. So he shows his presence when, you can't say, oh, well, I was always this and I was always that, or I did this, or, I'm this strong, so I didn't need God. He shows up for the weak person. Everyone who has a fault, when they get to a level of success, it can only be God, because they had all these faults and they couldn't take it.
Yes.
So in that, I was like, let me do. I talked to you first. Remember, I was like, boy, are you scared? But what you think? Do it. We always tell each other just do it. But so I started to do it, and luckily, all the people who started to attend, because they used to come by your house and then. So what surprised me was all pairs of mine. Yeah, they used to go, you had to do it by your house, but it was all pairs. Like, and I saw that, and I'm like, what you doing in church? You know what I mean? Like, what? Like, so it literally was pairs. It wasn't nobody I didn't know. It was like pairs, but it was just like people just, I guess people have that relationship with God, but publicly they just were scared to, I don't know if they're scared to say it, or because society, you don't want to, you feel shy about it type of way. You don't want to seem like a traditional churchy person, like Bible thumping, Easter hat type, no offense to anyone, but we didn't want to seem that way, right? Because it wasn't cool.
It wasn't cool service.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So these people start showing up. I was like, God don't play. We always said that God don't play. So we developed this sort of youth ministry called Morph. And we literally had well-known artists, photographers, chefs. Well, she's a chef. She did different portions. And we had a program where literally the kids would jump. So you come on Friday night. So you start in photography, then you go to doing, we did our version of Chopped, then you go into sports, and you told us like 20-minute intervals. And it became so popular, we invited all kind of churches. So we had Anglican, Catholic, Baptist, all the kids just were coming in, and it just grew.
Some people from Wrongfully Home,
and
some of the people from the other children's
right,
places.
Right.
But we did from our small group circle. Well, I'll explain a little more what Morph. Morph, we decided on the name because we wanted it to be a transformation for these kids, but we wanted to create an atmosphere where they were comfortable, first of all, where they had things to do so they wouldn't be distracted, and where we weren't just like talking at them and not talking with them. And so whenever they went into a different segment, they were there to learn something. So in photography, they would be taught about photography or how to use your phone to take pictures and things kids like that. And then we would talk about how God can be seen in different aspects of careers that could take you into photography, or how God could speak to you through pictures or different things like that. And then we got them competitive. So we did a competition where they were doing like Chopped. So we would just have mystery ingredients like tuna, cheese, and like pickles or something. And they had to come up with these meals. Right. And we would talk to them. We talked to them about how food is interpreted in the Bible, or different areas in the Bible where food was used in lessons, right, and things like that. Right. Then they're outside, they're exercising. Right. So now we're teaching them about God through play.
Yeah.
How important it is to have fun while you're still worshiping God, while you're still praising God, while you're still learning about God. It's still important to have fun doing these things.
We got to shut out some people because we can't.
Say the church name because you're someone.
Yeah, somebody's in the comments asking what's the church name.
People in the Morph program, like the artists, like these were people who everyone in society knew, and they would just come and volunteer their time for free, mm-hmm, and do this program. So Sherrod Lightburn, photography, Stephen, airbrushing, Stephen Legend. We had who else? Boy, I shouldn't start that list. Yeah, I can't remember.
See, that's why you get in trouble. That's it right there. No fail.
Yeah, we had the flag football crew. We had Alan Wallace, artists came through. We had but we had a bunch of like well-known different artists, and Keisha Campbell, marketing, and
Keisha was the best Chopped judge ever.
Yeah, right. Okay? So literally, we had some phenomenal people just coming.
One people. So it's kid, people who the kids will probably definitely know. And right. Then when you guys had the skill, you all took what they know, tie that in with God, so that even solidify that message even more now.
So in the comments, not saying it's the best thing is y'all support each other, and Mo, of course, this is the other spy. Awesome couple, stay strong.
Most spies, I get Mo.
Kyle wants his cut because he's a Smith. I don't know how to
go.
But Deniska Moss wants to know, what church is this? Is it Bahamas Harvest?
No, this is New Providence Community Church.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
Good.
So after this program, I got a call, and this was crazy, right? Yeah. So they gave me a call, and they was like, they wanted me to consider me for as an elder.
The evolution of Jamal Smith. Boy,
look what a good woman could do. Look what that.
Which your line is God
the big chair in the background, when
I did.
And you think of elder, you think of that, and I was completely devastated. I was like, God, what you doing? Like me? Me? Right?
We had that conversation, Betty. He's like, Tracy, me?
Right.
But me though?
Yeah. But I must say, if it wasn't for my wife, like
I say so too. Go ahead.
Possible way, and that was the thing. I think I was considered because of my wife, because they know basically the support I have from her, because it's draining work. You have to deal with a lot of different situations with people and comfort and that sort of thing. But anyway, so they asked me to come in. It's a month. It took a couple of months for the process. They got to get to know you, talk to people, ask about you, yeah, right. So it was a case where they just wanted to bring in some young elders to groom over the years to start to replace the ones that were coming out. So I accepted about a year. This is a year now.
It's like 2.
Oh, it's 2 years.
Don't forget, we have to write off 2020.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right.
jeez.
So yeah, so it's
Child.
been like 2 years now as an elder. And it's not something where like I'm preaching or anything, but it's like high level decisions, direction where the church goes, and to bring another perspective. Because you don't want everyone in the room with the same perspective. There's always that little silent or soft answer sometimes at the end of the conversation that could change the whole viewpoint. So
That's
true.
they brought in like 2 or 3 of us, younger elders in there as well, and we constantly under the grooming and all that sort of thing. But what did it for me? I was like, yeah, I can't do this. I can't, put on the, the facade. And they was like, we want you to be who you are. They want you to come as you are because that's your strength. That's your personality. And that's what draws people because people, we taught that the church is just black and white. Like it's just stringent. Like you do good, you do wrong, but it ain't like that. When you have a relationship, it's up and downs with people, so much and with God, you know what I mean? So,
authentic.
right,
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and then during COVID as well, because we couldn't meet, we couldn't host small group anymore. And me, I'm not a Zoom person. I like to see people, touch, feel, like sit in front of a computer. No offense to this.
I was like, we zooming out.
Yeah, no, but I
Just so we could
mean,
Zoom face to face because I want the food. But anyway, go ahead.
yeah, but during that time, you were Zooming for everything. You were Zooming for work. You were Zooming for your children's school. And so it got to be a little too much for me. But he had a men's group that evolved out of COVID. And they would have their Zoom meetings on Mondays and Fridays. And they still do it. But what impressed me was that it's just strictly for the men. So it's a group of these young guys.
All over the world.
And every Monday and every Friday, without fail, these men get together and they have a conversation about God. You know what I mean? And everybody's very comfortable. Everybody's still themselves. They have their issues and their problems. He goes outside, so I don't hear what they say. But you know what I mean? He always comes in and tells me, it was such a good session tonight. And this is the part of the Bible that we read, or this is the lesson that we learned and stuff like that. And for me, initially, it was like, it's COVID. Like, I need you to focus. I need help with JJ. Like, I had him all day. And now you're going on this men's group thing. And like, I still ain't getting no help, right? And it was frustrating for me until I said to myself, I said, you know what? No, he needs this. But more importantly, the people that he's talking to probably need this. So you could give him these 2 nights, and then the other nights, you get JJ.
Yeah, right. I forgot about that too. So so we have 2 men's groups actually. One man on, like she said, Monday, one man on Friday. It became so big we had to split into 2 groups. So the guys are predominantly from Nassau, but we have guys in Canada, we have guys in all throughout the United States. They're Bahamians, but they just live in different parts. And it started off as a fair. Like, man, we were afraid. Like, wait, what's is the world about to end? Like, everyone losing their job. I can't take care of my family. What to do? Like, it just, and like I said, God to show up in weakness. So with this, it was like a conversation about what you're doing. You want to say, God, pull up, and we sit there, we have our say guys, we zoom up, and we have guys, and I'm not talking about no church dudes, like I'm talking about guys, and shout out to all my boys, all kind of backgrounds, like straight from the muck, all type of people. Anyway, just not
more spies. Okay,
just regular people. Just regular people. Let me say that. Just regular people, like not churchy, not a halo around their head, but these people, everybody had that tie to God, or they was yearning for that relationship with God. And I mean, just
these weren't people that we would see in church
these ain't church
Sunday,
people. Let me say that.
Yeah.
It ain't church people. It's just dudes like you would see around the place, in the club, on the street, whatever. Just really good heart and friend. And then it was a mixture, because you had that, but you also had public speakers. You had youth pastors in there. You had like all these different, this mesh of men. because we just were like, wait, what direction to go? And we don't even know left from right now. And it just developed like that. And we just do like this relationship based on talking. One dude having problems with his wife, another dude child is sick, another dude this and that. And you know, it just developed into that. So yeah, I got an administrative, forget about that. It's busy, but yeah.
Well, Smith, I think you don't do yourself service or dance. You keep on saying you want the church this, you want the church that, but the Bible I read talked about God accepting you as you are.
Mm-hmm.
So the God I subscribe talks about literally come as you are. And when Jesus came on the earth, he went out of the church, out of the temple, and went amongst the people. That's what you're doing. So I hear you one side, you think to yourself, you know what, I ain't this person, I ain't that person, why me? But you have a plethora of stories in the Bible
Yes.
of everybody who said the exact same thing. I'm unworthy, but God said, no. I need you. You
Right.
the person. I need you. I need your check-in pass because your check-in pass lends authenticity to allow you to go into certain places where my light don't shine as much as it needs to shine.
I agree. And that's what I developed into. The thing is, you can't let people tell you what the Bible says. You can't let people, you have to find it for yourself. You have to read it. It wasn't until I started reading with these dudes in detail and like really applying myself, asking the Holy Spirit to lead me.
Hello, Tracy.
From the bottom of my heart. It's awesome.
So, it wasn't until that, then I realized, like you say, but like it ain't about having a halo on your head and dressing in all white with wings, and you know, like that's not it. Like you need to be out on the road. You need to be able to sit down and have a beer with the boys and a cigar. And they can talk to you like God, like you say, Jesus went to fishermen, bro. Like they wasn't even rated, you know, in their cities and stuff. And literally all the disciples and all these different people, man, the backgrounds that they had, it was considered horrible. But
Yeah.
that's what he went to. He didn't stay in the four walls. He went to the
Oh.
synagogue during certain times of prayer and I guess studying and all that. But that is it. You got to be on the road, and in order to be on the road, you got to be yourself. Real, recognize real. So if you come in to people fake, but they ain't on your right.
And Keisha also reminded in the comments about the We Care We Share ministry as well. So at our church, we have a ministry that we were asked to take over. Another one. It's We Care. So We Care We Share. What happened is our church takes, before COVID, we took in and before Dorian, we used to take in a lot of donations. So people would just donate all type of random things. And we had the elderly ladies of the church that were trying to manage it, but became overwhelming for them. So Jamal and I took it over, and volunteers would come in and we would organize clothes, food, furniture, bedding, and these things. And we would go into less fortunate communities and we just put these things out on the table.
Well, we would let them know.
We let them know. We work with another church
or
organization in the community, and we'd set up those type of things. We'd have some type of meal that people could come and get while they come and pretty much shop
for
what they needed. And then people got to know that, we had access to certain things. So then people would be like, do you have a fridge? Do you have a stove? Do you have a bed, a mattress? Whatever, and we were able to give people those things through that ministry as well.
And shout out to Natalia McKinney because he online now. His program, what's that? Dream Chasers. Dream Chasers. They do a phenomenal job. And
we work with them as well.
We work with them. We work with a lot of communities, a lot of different organizations, like she said. So our thing was we didn't care who got this stuff. Like it wasn't something where you guard it and be like, okay, you get 2 bags of rice, you get a bed, you get this.
Right.
Get it out. Just
take it.
They can end up in someone's hands. Just God can make sure and go where it's supposed to go. So just get it out. So our proximity of our church out west on Blake Road, you have a lot of attendees from behind the gates and things. So you got like Old Fort, you got these people, but they don't know how to get into the city, or they've been hurt, or they distrust individuals in the past because they swing them or they use them for political reasons or whatever. So they just like felt comfortable just throwing stuff our way, and we just link up with people. Like they say, anybody who came with any church, any organization, I don't care where you were from, I don't care your background, Rastafarianism, I don't care if it was Buddhism, I don't care if it was PLP, F and M, I don't care what it was. we just felt that, look, these things standing there and they go rotten, just get it out. So, I mean, the ministry just blew up more and more.
And shout out to all of our volunteers from the We Care, We Share ministry, because without y'all folding and organizing and being out there and showing up, it really wouldn't have been as successful as it is.
Yeah.
So are there any thoughts that you would like to leave with the audience?
No, that's
What?
we wrap up now. Or before we wrap up, so Derek said love these two. So I have to say that Keisha Smith Campbell saying proud of you guys. That's who said that we share that.
Yeah.
One thing I thought is very important to highlight. We started off talking about you guys. We highlight you guys' businesses. One thing is you said always showed up for you guys in businesses. But I think it's undersold how much work you guys did on his behalf as well. So it's like you guys are the epitome of obedience is better than sacrifice. Like y'all even forgot the amount of work y'all did in the background for God, just casually doing for him.
Yeah.
So whenever you guys ask him to say, "Mom, make sure we straight God some on a small list," the stuff you're doing for me, and not looking to get praise, not looking to get recognition, just doing it because you've been obedient. One is I love about you guys. So your guys are unassuming when it comes to stuff like that. You
don't do it for the clout. You don't do it for the credit. You don't do it to be seen, and that's amazing.
And you're doing it for the right reasons, and that's why you guys are getting the blessings, and that's why I swing over to you because y'all are doing your part as well. So I encourage you guys to keep that up. And anybody listen, keep that up. That's the currency of living here. So pour back into.
Yeah.
You get what you put in, like Jamal said earlier. You get what you put. You put 100%. You get 100% up. And just before we wrap up, because our doors listen to. So when JJ get older, he can hear this podcast.
Yes.
Please tell us what your beautiful son before you go. And then we can let you go. I need daughter. I need all the gorgeous daughter, the beautiful son, because I ain't get rough. Because our daughters
okay.
You won't mention us yet. So it's your time to showcase your all. That's the best merger of the Smiths brand right there.
It is actually. That's the best part of him right there.
Without you, no, she's very good at description. That's the thing.
We can talk more about Jaira and volleyball and her accomplishments.
All right, because we run no time here and dog. And see, they said, my beautiful daughter, she's 16.
I know her strengths. Okay.
Anyway, my beautiful daughter, she is 16. She lives in Fort Lauderdale with her mother, but she is just a gem. She's like a sports star. She plays soccer, volleyball. All this sort of stuff. Her work, she's just, I don't even know what they got now. To scale up to 5 points, she got 4 points something, I don't know. But she does very well, that's very genuine. We talk every so often. And her and Tracy's relationship is just phenomenal. Like, they don't check for me. Them two just like forget daddy, daddy's the rowdy one. So shout out to my daughter, Jaira Smith. Love you. We love you to death.
Love you.
All right. And then we got JJ.
Our ball of energy.
I shouldn't have named him Junior because he got all my energy.
JJ, I think as a great combination of our personalities. He's our little comedian. He's always singing, like somebody who doesn't notice that he's always singing as well.
Really?
And he brings it's always us. And just how it was just always being him together before the marriage, before JJ. JJ is always with us, and JJ is always a part of a lot of things that we do, almost everything that we do. And it's like, you need your time together. And I do want to tell people that's very important, that when you have kids, not to forget about your husband, because I think females do that. Yeah. I think people have a tendency to say, I love my child more than I love my husband or my wife, but don't forget they was there first, and you wouldn't have had your child if it wasn't for this other person.
Look at that.
So Rodney will say, I just met you.
I say you're cute. You're not cute. I just met you. I know her long time. I just met you.
But anyway, go ahead.
But I think JJ also has brought us a lot closer to. It's like we have our time and we enjoy our time, and then it's like, okay, then we can pick up the boy. Yeah, I love that. He's a lovely kid. We have no issues.
My children have taught me so much. My daughter, like you say, was stubborn and all that. And she had preteen, and I'm like, what language are you speaking? Like, what? I don't understand that. So, like, the other day, she teaching me about the 5 love languages, and she's like, Daddy.
Go ahead.
And that, and then, this is what you need to do. And then she teaching about communication, and when they're angry, get in that space. And I'm like, okay, baby, I get it. I understand. So I'm like, man, and you can't rest, like, but that's a good thing. If I didn't have him, I'd probably be laying on half the time tired, but he just makes you explore new things and a different perspective on life, everyone have a different viewpoint.
Love to see the world through kids' eyes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Cool. Like
This,
that.
Yes.
it's a beautiful. Every time we having fun time goes by.
I tell you, like it'll be cool. It'll be fine. So we're hearing from the audience. Daniska says, power couple, very admirable, very genuine. So
Yes.
that's always good feedback. Sonia says, great show, guys. Ashley, I really enjoyed this. Lovely couple. Derek says, I am here for Tracy Shade, aka Love for Smith. I love it too.
Smith.
She does it so well. Like she does it so well. All right. And Daniska, thank you so much. You said we're growing. Oh, thank you so much. We're trying.
How can we reach you guys? Just give your plugs, your business names.
And drop it in the comments for us too.
So we can share it as well.
Yes, we will do. So what we decided, because so many things going on, we have one group business page. Is follow us on Instagram at Smith Life Deals. Sorry, Smith Life 242.
There's a 242 in there.
Smith Life Deals 242. That's where you get all the combinations of our businesses. We have a lot of stuff going on, but that's strictly for all the different things we have. Once you go on that page, you'll see the different links. You'll see the promotions we have. We have the websites, the specials going on every week. Everything will just be concentrated there. So that's the easiest thing.
Okay, so drop that right in the comments for us.
Yes.
Jan said she enjoyed this and she'll be back, and we hope so. Anisha doesn't work for us the other day.
I used to with a strict, but she did some of our business service culture. And I think we were our first adult client, she said.
Yeah.
She did an awesome job. We got some work shirts.
We got our branded stuff, embroidery. So you got to check her out.
To show you the importance
of the branding.
No, Chico, no, not Smith like these. Smitty, please drop it in the comments quick. No. Life deals.
Smith Life.
It's gonna be there. It's gonna be there. Don't worry about it.
Smith like that's a good one. Smith like this to us.
Right.
There you go.
So
242. Thank you.
What we really want to say for real, Keisha is on it because she's like dropping all the links.
That's
my sister.
That's our organizer.
Trust me, I love her to death. Okay, she's on it.
She's the boss.
She's also our brander as well.
Nice.
Collaborations, community.
And this is it. It's a community. It's networking. Relationships.
Good mommy, come on, keep it coming, Keisha. We can talk to. Because they forgetting all this stuff.
Okay. So we want to tell you guys.
She joined late, so she didn't hear what we spoke about the whips. Come on.
No, hey, the replay is gonna be here on Facebook. It's going to be up on YouTube.
That's what we do. And all the audio is gonna be on all
streaming platforms.
Just Google it, Aaron Love Podcast. It's gonna come up.
So thank you. I mean, I don't know how best to say thank you, so I'll let Rodney say it, but thank you.
So to Jamal and Tracy, thank you so much for being open and honest, sharing your story and just sharing your time with us. We know we did just a little bit early because Super Bowl tomorrow. Thank you guys for flexing with us. We appreciate you guys so much. We have admired you guys from afar. It was an honor to sit up close and talk to you guys. Even though they're saying Tracy up close, it still is up close. So we appreciate you guys so much. And we would definitely continue to follow and support in any way that we can. Thank you again. Thank you for all those who are listening, for the new users, new listeners, sorry. Like and share the page. We will be here week after next.
With
another couple.
Yes.
And it's gonna be, we start off Rash and Andrew height, Jamal the same height. So they
gotta come correct, man.
Yeah, keep on keeping this. These people knocking on the park. But thank you guys for tuning in. We will be here week after next. And no man, thank you so much.
It's an honor to be invited, man. Y'all too, I love you a long time. I appreciate y'all for many years, always been watching y'all from afar as well. So it's an honor for us to even be invited and just to be here. We don't do much of these things, so, we appreciate it, man.
Yes. Y'all will be doing more.
Y'all get it on recorded. He's beat me. Remember?
That's it.
You're gonna end this. Okay. There's nothing.
All right, so cigar corner. So anyway, Keisha Smith Gamble, keep it up because Jamal.
Keep
it up. What a catch.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. All that stuff she got you, man. I hate that's why she show brown person, get a brown person like Keisha. Not her, just
brown person.
like Keisha. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Until next time. We'll see you again.